Here in the studio, we have Chris, and we just got a breakdown of Hurricane Melissa. Of course, something we're going to be watching over the next few hours as it makes landfall. But Chris, also some rain happening here locally, so no sign of that slowing down today, is there?
No, well, it will get better by the afternoon, but you're still looking at a dreary day.
Yeah.
So we're doing two opposites here. We're not talking about sunshine. You will look at some heavier pockets of rain, and we mainly have that north of Charlotte. So here's what we've been doing over the last few hours. This right here, by the way, is the most widespread and heavy rain we'll have for today. I think we'll have another similar looking radar image by late tomorrow and tomorrow night, and then that's going to be the last hurrah before we get this out of there. But one thing that you can really see here is we're pushing some winds out of the south, but then it's also feeding in some cooler air to the northeast, and it's going to be a breezy day as well. So what that is that just constantly keeps rain around, but we are slowly going to dial things back. But today, interestingly enough, it's not a record-breaking day, but so far we've hit a high of 51 degrees. That was around midnight. Well, the coldest high temperature we've ever had for October 28th here in Charlotte was 49, and then it was 52 and 53. So this will still be one of the coldest days we've ever had on this day in climatology for October 28th, and it's just not going to be great. And there's also another thing really to mention is that it will feel a whole lot chillier just because of the winds, and the winds are going to be pretty gusty as we work our way on and off throughout the day. I am anticipating gusts to get up to about 30 miles per hour. For example, I think sustained winds will be about 19 to 24. It's known as a fresh breeze per the Beaufort wind scale that was inducted by Sir Francis Beaufort, and it really is just wind ranges that show about what you can expect. So whenever you have a fresh breeze, you're talking about small trees starting to sway in the breeze, and then some gusts are going to get up to about 30 to 35. That's known as a strong breeze. That's where the bigger trees are really starting to sway. And since we are at the point that a lot of the leaves are starting to come off of the trees, this is going to mess up our peak of fall foliage here in Charlotte. It's already been coming down. You're going to see a lot more leaves on the ground, and I mentioned it yesterday. Watch for those wet leaves that can lead to some extra slick spots. But we also need to rejoice because Charlotte FC fans, it's not the greatest day, but you're going to have a lot of slide tackles, I think. It's going to be a wet field, but by the time that you get to this game, I think you're going to see a little bit of a clearing going on. It's still going to be damp. That's the thing. So I always tell people when you have this type of scenario, bring a little towel. I think they're also giving some out where you can rally towel. There'll be people that can wipe your seats, but be independent. Yeah. So just letting you know that is going to be a possibility.
Nobody wants a wet tushy.
Nobody wants a wet tushy. Thank you.
Not me. Not me.
Tomorrow's kind of the opposite. I think that we're a little bit drier in the morning, still a chance for on and off showers, but then more likely to see rain to end the day. So let's get right to our futurecast. Here's exactly what we're going to be looking at over the next several hours. Here's the rain right now through this morning. You can really see it take a big step back. So I still think we have active rain, some drizzles, some pockets of rain in between through the afternoon. But then once you get to the late day, right around game time, I think it's mainly just some mist, maybe feeling damp with a passing shower or two. By tomorrow, we don't see as much. It becomes a little more widespread through the afternoon and the evening, but then we have this final push. There's the slightest outside chance that there's a rumble of thunder. I'm not worried about any big storms, just saying that some might be surprised by that, and it's very outside chance. We're talking about maybe 10% chance. But these are big enough, and this is also going to be some heavier downpours at times. That could impact your Thursday morning commute, so keep that in mind. Once this passes, we're going to be clearing things out. As far as how much rain that we're going to see as this model resets, I think it's upwards to about 1/4 of an inch total, and that's across 2 days. But to the northwest for the mountains and the foothills, I think it's about 1 to 2 inches when all is said and done. Now, once we get the rain out of here, we're talking about Halloween. The warmest Halloween we've ever had is 89. The coldest low is 29 degrees. Last year, we had a high of 80 degrees. I was sweating in my rhino costume because JT was Spider-Man. But this time, it's the opposite. It was you have to bring yourself back to 2 years ago where we had a high of 64. Very similar to that, slight chance for rain. And actually, it's less than 25% of all the Halloweens in Charlotte history we've had rain. So there's good news there. But then leading to our 7-day forecast brought to you by the Jerry Hunt Super Center. By this weekend, heading into the 1st and 2nd of November, so I'm talking about Dia de los Muertos, which, by the way, there's a great festival at, Camp North End. Thank you.
Yeah, they have a good one.
We go there pretty much every year. But then don't forget that we also fall back, y'all. So it is the end of daylight saving time. So that means it's going to be saying DST, Daylight Standard Time. So that means our days are completely changed. But how does it look? for example, you didn't see it. You're not going to see it, but the sunset will be at 6:33. It will noticeably get darker, so you know that. So the change, it should be obvious, but sometimes seeing it is really believing. Since we're moving back an hour, the sun's rising up earlier, so 6:46, so better for bus stop goers, but the sunset time is at 5:27.
That's great for morning show people
That's
like
great
Chris.
for-
You have to
yeah,
go to
Chris
bed
is like,
early.
that's fine
So
with me.
hey,
I don't
small win for Chris today.
I was like, I don't get the big deal over here. What are you talking about? No, it is a bummer because I still like to go on those later day walks and stuff because your day gets cut short, and then it's at the back ends. Oh man, what am I thinking about at the top of my head? I think it's 5:10 in the first 10 days of December is where we hit our earliest sunset time. Then after that, it pretty much stays the same and then actually starts to increase through December. So it's not January as most people think. The earliest sunset time is actually the first couple of weeks of December. So it will get earlier, but then after that, it does get better.
You know what? I'm going to be positive today. Do I like being cold? No. But do I like seeing Christmas lights earlier in the day? Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
Sure.
That's
So
true.
we're going to look on the bright
Sure.
side.
I like that. Yeah, and
Holiday season. It's going to be fine.
it'll come up sooner than you think. Soon all the big pumpkins and inflatables will go away, and then
And then more inflatables, and then jolly ones.
Yes.
I have to say, I think I'm more a fan of Halloween inflatables compared to Christmas inflatables.
Really?
Yeah.
Christmas inflatables do kind of give me like the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
But Halloween ones are supposed to do that.
Yeah, see,
That-
that,
yeah,
I think
that's
that's
the
what it
point.
is.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the point.
Because like there's giant minions. There's like a giant minion on my road, for example.
Yeah.
But then like a giant minion Santa. So I was like, all right, what are you up to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suspicious.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Anyway.
I like that.
All right. Okay. There it is.
It's
Just
So
full-
it's a relatively dry Halloween, is what you said.
Yeah, no.
Small
Can't-
chance for rain. So
No,
somebody
no rain on Halloween.
Because
Zero.
somebody whose costume's made of mostly paper.
Yeah.
Rain would not be great.
When do you reveal what your costume is?
Friday.
Friday. Okay, that's
You'll
right.
be here, right?
Yes.
Great.
I am off
For the
tomorrow,
reveal.
but then I'm back on Thursday, Friday.
And I have 2 days to think of one. So if anyone has ideas, let me know. But Chris, thank you as always.
No, of course. Thank
Appreciate
you.
you coming in here. Lots of important things. Busy day for meteorologists everywhere. So
Yeah.
thank
For
you
sure.
for taking the time.
Appreciate you.